Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. You're welcome to Victee Fashion Up with Victoria here today. As you can see, we are going to be cutting out this print, and this video is going to be a part 1, part 2, or maybe 3, because this is actually this video that you're watching now is how to cut the bustier. Then the next one is when we are cutting it on fabric, then the sewing, because I don't want it to be too bunky, so it's gonna have part 1, part 2. So in this tutorial we are going to be learning how to cut a bustier, a princess that bustier that is very going to make your dress stand well. So if you're, for me on this tutorial, my paper is not much. I only have this one because I'm going to be using this one to cut the front and the back. But if you have more, you can fold it into 2, but for me, I'm not folding it into 2. So the first thing that we're going to be doing, cutting out the front first. Then you measure the length. For me, our length is 15. I add 1 inches to it. Then after the length, I measure the armhole, and that is 8 inches. Then I measure from my shoulder to our nipples. For this person is 9 inches. Then our under bust is 12 inches. Then our waist is 15 inches. Just measure your client and get the measurement. The first measurement is the starting point, just the way you see it, and the next one is the armhole. The next one is the nipples and under bust and waist, like I was writing it there. The bust, the armhole, and you can also call the armhole the chest line. So yeah, that is the measurement we need here. And if you're watching it, you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Make sure you subscribe and turn off notification button to see more of my video when I upload it. So the next measurement is shoulder back measurement, and back measurement divided by 2. For this is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5 or something, so I added half inches to it. Then I use 8 inches. So for the neckline, net width that I'm going to be using, the normal measurement is 3 by 3. Yeah, 3 by 3, because I'm still going to be cutting out the upper part. I love doing my drafting paper like this because I can use it for another person later. So then you go down by your shoulder length. This is very compulsory in dresses. You know, our shoulder is not straight like our shoulder, so that's why I usually used to come down by 1 inches. As you can see, it's already given even before we do it. So at this point, we are going to be doing nipples to nipples measurement. I made mistake to start from the armhole line, but we are just going to be going to the under bust and the waistline, then the nipples line. So nipples to nipples measurement of this person is actually 7.5, but I added half inches to it, so make it 4 inches. I use 4 inches. So I went to the armhole, divide the armhole into 2 from the slope, then I notch it down, then I go in by half inches just for it to give it a nice breast. Then you draw a straight line from the armhole to that half inch I went in. So after that, I'm going to divide my bust by 4. Divide your bust by 4 and add the allowance just for us to get our armhole measurement. Divide your bust by 4 and add your 2 inches into it, so we should get a armhole. You can use your cuff ruler to draw it, or you use your hand method. I actually usually used to use the both, sometimes hand method. As you can see, I use hand method for the neckline, so I'm used to anyone that comes and go. Have you subscribed? What are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe, boo. So to get this this puff here, you divide your under bust measurement by you minus your under bust measurement from your bust measurement. Whatever it gives you, divide it by 2. So for me, when I divide it by 2, it gives me 2.75. So I use the 7.5 for the one side, and I use the 2 inches for the open side. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. If yours is, when you divide your underbust by your bust, when you minus your underbust from your bust and you get the answer, you divide whatever you get into 2. So the bigger part will be on the outside side, then the inside you can use 1 inches, or so then you draw a straight line just the way I did. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So this will make your bust come out well. So as you can see, this is what I'm going to be doing. So after this, from that nipples to nipples, you go down by half an inch, then you go down by half an inch, and you go up by half an inch too. You go down half an inch and you go up half an inch, just for your dress not to be too pointy. I don't know if I get the pronunciation. Then you now use your cuff ruler to cuff this. You need to set it well, because I think there's one place that I made mistake in the front that you are still going to see. I didn't set it well, so I had to start doing it again. So you need to be careful and set well. You can actually use pencil to first of all draw it before you use your marker, so you should get it well. So that is it. So this is the ruler. Then you make, so you can see I'm actually checking it well, because you cannot afford to make mistake. You need to let it get. Then I'll use my cuff ruler to join this together. This you join it together. That is it. Then we are going to use the cuff ruler to curve this side too. We are going to curve this side to meet the half inch, and that place too to meet the half inch. So at this point, and if you are watching my video, there's a lot of video on my YouTube channel that you can actually watch, and you have watch. You are not, I don't know why people is not giving me a thumbs up. You don't like my video, you watch, you don't like. I don't know why. What did I do? You don't comment, you don't subscribe. Please, I beg you, please make sure you comment and you subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification button to know whenever I upload another video. And make sure you give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up to encourage us and to make YouTube let many people see my video. Thank you for doing that. Thank you. So after that, as you can see, I've already used the cuff ruler to do the whole thing. It's already giving self. It's giving now a bit. It's giving the puffy this thing. And yeah, I really like this method, because this method has been really helpful for me. Like that, since I know this method, as in, it's when I saw it, the bust always come out where I like the texture of the bust and all of that. It come out so well. So after this, you go in by 1 inch, just the way I did. Later on, this is where I said I made the mistake. I didn't measure it well. So you can, if your bust is not much, you can go in by half inches. I later use half inches, because this one I first drew, even me, I was like, you can see I was a bit confused on what to do. It was just a bit confusing me, like what was going on. At this point I said, Vicky, oti ya kuya. It was not giving, and I say, hey. So at this point I made a mistake here, and I say, no, I don't want this. You can actually leave it like this, but I said I just don't like the way it looks. At this point, when I was even checking, so I now came up by 7 points. I didn't later use 1 inches. I used 7.5. I do as they to use it 7.5. That was the inches I used. Then I went up by 1 inches, so that we not get, when I'm sewing, there will not be short fabric, all those things. So I went up. Then I now changed the armhole. I changed the armhole just the way you see it right now. Yeah, You can see it's already giving the bust. It gives a lot of bust. I love the way it come out to be, the cuff and everything. You know, the method, this method has been really helpful because I just like the way it always give me the bustier I wanted, and I'll be like, wow, why didn't I know this method for a while? So it has really been what I've been using. So you can try it out. Whatever, if it helps you, you can comment down below. Make sure you comment or even give us tutorial you want us to work on. So at this point we are almost done. We are going to be using the measurement now. So for that, we are going to be measuring our under bust measurement divided by 4 and add our 2 inches allowance. So at this point too, I measured the under bust and had the 2.75 inches. Then 2.75 inches, and I added 2 inches allowance. I did the same thing to the waist. I divide the waist by 4 and had the 2.75 inches and 2 inches allowance. Fashion designer is give and take. Whatever you take out, you must put it back. So the drawing will be funny, as you can see. The waist and the bust is not the same thing, but when you are sewing it, it will come out really nice. And we are done. It just remains for us to cut it out. By this time, like, it's already given. I love the way, very simple, as you can see. It's very simple to cut. There is nothing. So at this point, I had to remember to put the 1 inches there. Then I cut it out. So if you have not still subscribed to my YouTube channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Make sure you subscribe and turn off notification button. If you have any video you want us to do, make sure you comment down below. As you can see, this is the outcome of the front. So right now you can actually go up by 1 inches, but for this the bunting was not too much, so I just go up by ½ inches. So this is it, and that is it. So we are going to the back cutting now. So the back cutting is very easy, as you know, but for me, I'm going to be using princess dart tool at the back, but even it's not compulsory. The first thing I did is measure the length and measure the zip length I want to use. For this one, I'm going to be using 2 inches zip allowance. For this zip part, you can use 1.5 2 inches. That's the most thing we use when it comes to dresses. So for this, we are going to be using 2 inches. Then you draw a straight line for it. Then for the measurement I want to use, you draw a straight line. So from there I measure the armhole measurement 8 inches. I measure the armhole 8 inches. I measure the under bust that I use for the front, that's 12 inches. Then I measure here. You see this breeze, it wanted to disturb me, even make my mannequin to fall down here. I was like, hey, you this breeze, the Lord. So at this point, you measure your waist measurement, and that is 16 inches. So for us to get the measurement for the back to be the same thing to the front, when you want to measure the back measurement, it's always shorter than the front. I'm going to tell you how you are going to get it. So for this, I'm going to be using 3 by 1.5 inch for the neckline. You can use any neckline you want. I'm just using this to cut out this dress. It's not down. Then the armhole 8 inches. So we go down by 1 inches. Then we draw a straight line like this. After that, then I'll measure the 8 inches in the armhole too, to get the straight line. To the armhole. So I hope this is helpful. If it's helpful, make sure you comment down below. The part 2 of the dress will be here. Then you divide your armhole by 2, divided by 2, go in by ½ inch, then you draw a straight line from the armhole to that half inch. Then the part 2 of this dress, as I have uploaded, is the dress is actually a pencil gown dress, puff hand, and so this is the part 1 because I don't want everything to be too much in one video. As you can see, this one is almost even like 20-minute video. So that one, the part 2 of this video will be the cutting and the sewing. Very easy. Then you divide your bust by 4, add your 2 inches allowance. For this, just to I draw this to just get the armhole of this. As you can see, I use the hand methods to get the armhole. So after that, we go to nipples measurement. As you know, I use 8 inches for the nipples to nipples measurement of the front. So that is what we are going to be using for the back too. So we draw a straight line from this. You draw a straight line. Draw a straight line, as you can see. So after that, you go in, you go out by ½ inch, you go the other side by ½ inch, then you draw a straight line to meet up with this one that is there. So if you are not going to be using a princess dart, this is how your normal this thing will be. You don't have to do all this straight. You just put in your measurements and make sure you put the 1 inches back. You just put the measurement and that is it. You divide your waist by 4, add the 1 inches there for the dart and add the allowance. So that is it. You are going to do the same thing to the, as you can see. So for me, I want it to be a princess dart, so I'll just go down by go up by 1 inches from that line. I don't know if you understand. Go up by 1 inches from that half length, half this thing we did. At this point, I was looking for my curve ruler. So you curve it together to get what am I doing? I'm tired. So I'm going to join it together to go up by ½ inch and go down by ½ inch. So then you draw don't make this one to curve. Don't make it curve. You know, this is the back. So here, as you can see, the way I did it's not curve like a oh god. If you have watched till now and you have not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe and turn off notification button to see more of my video. As you can see, I went up by 1 inches just to give us a when we are sewing, to not give us short of fabric. Then I draw another armhole to meet up with the armhole. I'm so tired. Please make sure you subscribe and comment. Video of the sewing will be out soon. Make sure you subscribe to see the video of the sewing. So this is it. This video of the sewing and the cutting will be out. So at this point, we are done with the back. So the next thing now, hem before we are done. So your zip to be able to sit well in your back, you go in by ½ inch and draw it to your, just the way I'm doing right now. So you draw it like that. So from this back, you go in by 1 inches. You can actually go in by 1.5, depends on how curvy the person is. This is just for your zip to sit well. Like if you don't do it like this, you see some dresses that their zip are doing like, you know, not slay in the back. These are some of the things that caused it. So you need to make sure that your zip is sitting well in your back, just for your dress to be well placed. At this point we are done, and we are going to be cutting it out. We cut it out right now. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. See you on my next video. Bye.